At the first glance, ZZZ gameplay looks quite varied. Different types of weapons and outstanding animations unique to each character ensures a visual diversity. But there is one small detail that takes less than 1% on the screen, but might mean everything to an agent. At this point, more than 70% of all agents seem to have the same idea in the base of their kit. Earn stacks or a bar full of special supply, then spend it to deal extra damage. Out of all agents with a different approach to gameplay, only 4 were released after the first patch, which means that when stripped to the bone, the absolute majority of new agents' kits sound the same. Is this statement even true? And if it is it a problem? On the one hand, relying on earning and spending special resource is a clean gameplay design, which should lead to better kit comprehension among the player base. On the other, isn't it starting to feel a bit monotone at this point? To actually decide if it is a blessing or a curse, let's first talk about the game plan. Gameplan is a strategy that you chose to achieve a specific goal. In ZZZ, most of the time it means defeating the enemy. When you first start playing the game, tutorials teach you how to juggle basic in-game resources: energy, days, decibels, and assist points. These 4 numbers form your early game plan. But if you keep playing, you learn that for an optimal gameplay and higher points in endgame modes, you need to keep in mind much more. Buff durations, which conveniently don't show up in the UI, enemy debuffs, and special resources. They give agents access to buffs and extra damage, provide a way to evade restrictions, or even grant hard-hitting moves unobtainable otherwise. Since special resource becomes an important part of the equation, there is an expectation that managing this resource is going to have a significant impact on game plan. Special resources usually take a form of a continuous bar or stacks, and sometimes both. Most of the time, it is used for an enhanced attack. Usually, it is a hold basic that deals higher damage on its own, or ends with an extra hit, such as a bloom. In some cases, the resource is related to a special state, in which the agent deals higher damage. With less DPS-oriented specialties, resources are often used for off-field attacks or as a prerequisite for a buff. But the unique resource is not an end goal for every agent. Sometimes it simply complements a kit, offering just another pass to stronger hits. And sometimes it can even be ignored completely. Miyabi and Alice's game plans can both be described as earning as many enhanced attacks as possible. Despite pretty similar ideas behind their kits, the way their resource is earned and presented creates a difference in how their gameplay feels. Alice's bar is continuous, separated into 3 sections, while Miyabi has 6 discrete stacks. But the dissimilar presentation of special supply in the form of continuous bar or discrete stacks, in their cases, is misleading when it comes to spending. You probably wouldn't use Miyabi or Alice's enhanced basic without a fully filled meter. However, it does help to represent how you earn the attack. Alice fills the meter by herself, allowing for more flexible team rotations. But for Miyabi, timing her X specials and ultimate alongside teammates' anomaly attributes to maximize her stack from triggering disorders becomes a game plan with no alternative. No other choice but to earn and spend resources is an entire kit design for many agents: Trigger, Vivian, Evelyn, Dylan, Lucia, and more. What makes them feel more distinct is where the intention lies, behind earning or spending. Trigger or Pulchra require your input to provide them with the initial resource pool, but then they spend them on aftershock attacks on their own. In their case, earning the resource is a deliberate action, but you have no control over using it. On the opposite hand, Dylan and Orphe bars restore automatically, or with some actions in the fight that you would have used anyway. But filling the bar gives you a reward with full authority over timings. In case of some agents, special resource can affect choices in the fight, but doesn't equate to the entire game plan. Starlight Billy doesn't have a problem dealing damage without his enhanced basics, but they do make you choose between a defensive assist into a stunner for more days or Billy's X parry for extra points for the meter. Parois relies on their enhanced basics even less. I would argue that branching ultimates are a much stronger part of their kit, both in terms of game plan and memorability. For agents like these two, resource and its spending is not a goal by itself, but a welcomed addition. With some agents, the existence of a special resource in the first place doesn't affect the playstyle. Set Entire's game plan as a defensive support for Anomaly is to give shields and buffs, and that is achieved without his fancy charged attack. While Nicole's field time is usually optimized to the minimum, so her enhanced bullets never come into consideration. The importance of their special resources only resurfaces when you choose to on-field them as main DPS, but that is a pretty rare use case for these agents. From different earning and spending tactics to various levels of reliance on personal resources, the way meters and stacks affect the game plan keeps it from feeling totally stale. But having to look at them is certainly starting to get tired, especially when the design of these bars and points often lacks in flavor. Let's go back to Miyabi and Alice. The look of Miyabi's fully filled stacks, blue fires, matches her lore very well, and supporting teammates' coordinated effort with a powerful attack of her own is a fitting tactic for the head of Section 6. Alice, however, pulled a short stick when it comes to the design of a special resource. It doesn't look neither rich nor posh. It doesn't evoke feelings of an elegant sparring session. Taken out of context, nothing about this bar design screams Alice. Its only redeeming quality is being symmetrical. The design of Ye Xingguan's bar is great, referencing her iconic custom sword case. Although I can't help but think that the flavor is a bit off when it comes to her lore. Even though at the end of the Sword Seeker Chronicles event, Ye Xingguan reached an understanding with the sword, the weight of using it has been such a prominent point in the story that earning the bar for Enlightened Mind state for simple attacks feels wrong. But when in the Enlightened Mind state, various paths to exiting it help to tie her kit back to her lore, from long combos that make full use of her power, to a shortcut that gives Ye Xingguan a chance to remember this fight. Still, some kind of addition to earning the state would have been welcomed. For example, faster stack generation based on the type of enemy, or even teammates' condition, opening a potential slot for a support that drains their own health bar for team buffs. For an example of nice flavor to a special resource, let's take a look at Jane's bar for the Passion state. Just like Ye Xingguan, she earns the resource with all of her attacks, and when the bar is full, enters the state on her own. But such proactiveness fits Jane's character very well. When she is in the Passion state, you want to do everything possible to keep it going. And that also matches Jane's vibes perfectly. So in her case, the special resource is a flavorful addition to her kit, both lore-wise and gameplay-wise, even though the look of the bar itself is nothing to write home about. The design of a unique resource can often be a hit or miss. Some bars and stacks fit their characters and are easily identifiable, while some other ones are pretty generic and tell me nothing about the agents. A few of these are quite sad to look at, when the ideas of what could have been align on the surface. A phone handset for dialing, little boxing glove icons for lighter, and a food pyramid for Zhao. Or if it's too wacky, at least make it pink. I've already touched upon the occasional mismatch between the presentation and usage, but let's dive into it a bit deeper. If the earning of a special resource is continuous, but the consumption is de facto discrete, then supplementing the continuous bar with discrete stacks would lead to a better comprehension. Compare Evelyn and Pyro's resource bars. Evelyn continuously restores burning embers, converts them to burning tether points, and then spends various quantities of these points on extra chain attacks. Displaying burning embers as a continuous bar, but burning tether points as discrete stacks, is quite a clean design that helps to decouple the process of earning resources and spending them. Now take a look at Pyro's. Their enhanced basic requires a certain number of solar prominence, and that number is always 30. Dodge counter, assist follow-up, X special, chain, doesn't matter. When holding attack after finalizing the skill, spend 30 solar prominence to finish the move with the enhanced basic. The consumption of the bar in case of Pyro's is de facto discrete, but they don't get a fancy name for their stacks, and a lengthy description of 30 or more solar prominence plagues their already overly verbose kit. Even if the future mindscapes reduce the cost of an enhanced basic, it would still look much better if it followed similar design philosophy as Evelyn. An even more peculiar situation can be found in Arya's kit. Her game plan relies on her enhanced charged basics that have 3 levels of charge. Her resources are discrete stacks called fandom power, and 2 stacks of those translate to full charge for an enhanced basic in certain conditions. It raises a question: why 2? Why not equate 1 stack to 1 opportunity to insta-charge her ground smash? When Arya finishes a string of her basic attacks, she gains 1 stack of fandom power. But that restriction that seemingly exists to keep Arya's damage in check is unnecessary, since you would never play her that way. Whole uninterrupted basic attack sequence takes too long to execute, and with the lack of iframes, requires from enemies to do absolutely nothing in the meanwhile. Her special used after certain skills gives her 1 stack of fandom power, and X special 3. Reshuffling these numbers a little would allow to divide fandom power stacks by 2, and move to a simpler conversion from 1 fandom power to 1 instant enhanced basic. Remember how I implied that describing kits through bars and stacks probably translates to cleaner and easier to understand design? Well, let's look at Arya's skill descriptions. Not only you have to keep in mind that stacks under her portrait don't translate directly to enhanced attacks, you've also probably never noticed that in addition to fandom power, she has other stacks called all-out cheering. Arya's ultimate gives her 3 of those, and they are also consumed to charge her enhanced basic. If you still aren't totally confused by this point, notice that Arya's enhanced basic attack description mentions that if you hold basic after an ultimate, 2 fandom power will be consumed to activate her ground smash. But if her ultimate gives all-out cheering stacks that are spent first when charging the enhanced basic, that sequence of events is simply never going to occur. The kit that is so easy to learn in practice becomes unnecessarily difficult to comprehend when we head to skill descriptions. All-out cheering stacks function in the same way as fandom power does, just with a different proportion, and it is beyond my understanding why this middle measurement unit was even needed in the first place. Keeping extra stacks off-screen after an ultimate wouldn't create much of an issue. Alternatively, just showing all fandom power stacks that Arya has could have been a solution too, even if it risked looking weird at times. Arya is not the only agent with messy skill descriptions. Take a look at Dylan. The biggest selling point of her kit is the feature of upgrading next agent's chain attack to an ultimate. Something so huge and defining should have its own dedicated item on the interface, right? If the player who doesn't have Dylan were to be shown her special resource bar, they would very likely guess that the dot on the right indicates that ultimate conversion is ready to be used. This dot is called customer complaint, and you earn it by using Dylan's ultimate or when positive reviews bar reaches 90. You can spend this point to launch an X special Get Lost, which is activated by holding basic. When this Get Lost hits an enemy, if Dylan has more than 90 positive reviews, then she converts next agent's chain attack to an ultimate. If you didn't notice it yet, active customer complaint point doesn't necessarily mean that an ultimate conversion is possible. The conversion requires Dylan to have a certain number of positive reviews, and customer complaint point only means that you can use a hold basic to access the check for the conversion. If there aren't enough positive reviews, the point will be consumed and spent on a simple quick assist. If you do trigger X special Get Lost, but don't pick an agent for an ultimate, then you wasted both the customer complaint point and positive reviews. If having 90 or more positive reviews is a necessary condition for conversion regardless of the customer complaint point, and you can never have more than 90 positive reviews without it, then it's just duplicating already existing information, but doing so in a possibly misleading way. Now that we've established that bars and stacks don't always lead to a better comprehension, let's see how agents without special supply are played. Agents that don't rely on anything beyond base resources to contribute to the team are Ben, Lucy, Piper, Karin, Anton, and Rena. That doesn't mean that their gameplay is lacking any depth at all, although don't expect anything outstanding either. Ben has a parry on his X special. Lucy's pings deal damage off-field. Karin deals extra to stunned enemies. Anton sustains his powered-up state with energy and doesn't lose it when switching off. The presence of Rena in the team changes the rotation to accommodate her powerful but short buff. Piper is one of the simplest agents on her own, but the complexity in her game plan comes from teammates. Being of anomaly specialty, she depends on triggering assaults at correct times to play around disorders or vortex. Second group's contribution to the team can be upgraded by hitting the correct timings. A-rank Envy and Coletta deal more days by sliding their X specials during their basic attack streams, while Soldier 11 still has arguably the most unique kit in the game. Her ultimate and X special grant her basic attack fire infusion for a short duration, but hitting basics with a specific rhythm allows you to keep the flames indefinitely. Shortly after the game's release, she was considered to be quite a strong agent, and for a moment, learning correct timings for her basics was seen as a sign of true mastery. While nowadays her scores in endgame modes lose to the majority of limited characters, the memories of playing Soldier 11 keep me wishing for more agents with the same idea in their kit. It sets a clear gameplay goal: hit correct timings to maximize your damage output, requires some effort to master while being easy to understand, and fits the lore of the game, where music and rhythm are the sources of power. Some agents use voice and sound to deal damage, but as a player you don't feel the impact. You just watch waves hit the enemies. With Soldier 11, you get to participate in a powerful bit of a battle, directly connecting your input to the result on the screen. Even 2 years later, Karin still feels engaging to play, and that is achieved without complicated special supply. At M1, Nakamata gains a positioning condition where she deals more damage to enemies when attacking from behind. And it is an interesting premise for agents that use the battlefield to their advantage. But sadly, the mechanic was never revisited by the game. Billy deals more damage when he is in crouching shot. Just like with Nakamata, the idea is simple, but full of possibilities. And we can see this concept in other agents who sacrifice mobility in some of their moves for stronger hits. But compared to them, Billy still stands out. His game plan relies on players' ability to keep his crouching state for as long as possible, while for other agents, it is usually a temporary state. What about the 4 limited characters without a special resource that were released after the beginning of the game? Caesar technically has a bar, but since it is a shield for the currently on-field teammate, I would count her as an agent that doesn't have a special resource. Instead, to reapply her buffs, she can use assist points, and that's quite a clever design too. The assist points pool is already there, and using them for attacks fits the vibe of a defense character. Too bad that this design idea is also never revisited again. The assist button itself has seen some changes. Second season brought bosses with attack chains that require multiple fires, so an infinite charge was introduced. But there is still no character playing around it, even by something so simple as granting the ability to freely fire attacks for a certain duration. Hugo was our last limited character without any special resource. His mechanic is called Totalize, and it consumes the remaining stun meter for a huge hit. Once again, I like that the agent uses an already existing bar quite creatively. Luckily, Parois brought Totalize back in one of their ultimates, but I would like to see what else can be done with basic resources. Harumasa relies on electric quivers to deal damage, but when he is on field, they are shown in the form of cool and simple to read visuals. His stack is directly dropped on the field in the form of Electro Ball. Showcasing agent's power through actual objects placed in the battle environment helps them to come off as more powerful and strategic, even if it is just an illusion. Similarly, I like Soldier Zero Envy's special effects. Her stacks are applied to an enemy directly, which assigns clear roles in the battle. The enemy is marked, and the highly trained soldier is on it. Environmental cues are a great option for keeping the current kit design philosophy without sacrificing visual variety. Both Harumasa and Soldier Zero look cooler in the battle than many other agents with a typical bar/stack interface. I do see a possible downside of relying on environmental cues too much. When combined with large enemies and more intricately designed arenas, the field might end up looking too busy, and important information might get lost. But at the same time, I think that the visual clarity can be achieved by using higher stack contrast against the backgrounds, and balancing it out with clean, precise character animations. Like pre-potential awakening Lycan, who uses charged attacks to deal increased days. With an addition of enhanced assist follow-up, Lycan technically gained a hidden stack. He starts the fight with one Encircle Prey activation chance that is used to perform said enhanced assist follow-up, and the stack refreshes when the enemy gets stunned. The condition once per stun is simple enough to remember and doesn't need a special icon. However, this logic is applied inconsistently within the game. When the enemy is stunned, Nangon gets 2 stacks with which she can disorder the enemy during the stun, but she does have icons for them next to her bar. What's worse is that she spends them automatically when Arya performs her enhanced basic, so you have no control over earning it and no control over spending it in one of her teams, making it at all a waste of interface space and players' attention. On the other hand, Yuzuha's M2 upgrades an attack to a chain for an agent entering through quick assist, but only once every 20 seconds. She doesn't get an indicator for it, but its cooldown is proportional to the duration of a Sweet Scare buff, allowing players to use one indicator for both mechanics. It is quite common for a new type of resource, gains from Mindscapes or Potential Awakening, to not get a special icon. But that inconsistency is just one of the issues with ZZZ's over-reliance on meters and stacks. Some resources are redundant and could easily be reduced, and sometimes the existence of these resources doesn't provide a better kit comprehension, nor does it lead to more creative gameplay. So, did all agents that have special resources need them in the first place? Let's go back to the poster child of unnecessary complicated kit, Arya. When she gains a stack of Phantom Power, she also summons one Tyrian kitty per stack, and I would argue that this kitties is all she needed. Imagine If instead of having stacks of phantom power and all-out cheering under her portrait, she would just consume the summoned kitties to insta-charge her basics. In fights where speed really matters, you would mostly use Arya during enemy stun window, keeping an unobstructed view of the cats. I would go even further and say that all Agents of Delusion should have worked around these cheering kitties. Suna should have used them to deal her off-field attacks with bubblegum. The design is already quite similar, while Nangon could have used them for her charged basic and disorders during the stun. Angel's ultimates and X specials would have focused on resummoning the kitties, and if we want the maximum flavor, leaving Angel's group idle before the battle could have summoned a couple of cats too. A team so closely knit together that they have each other's names directly in their kits absolutely could have worked with a single shared resource. Piloting such a team would require to make decisions on how to allocate the kitty summons among the members to ensure the best score, and each odd member would have still worked solo by supplying themselves with the needed number of cats. Another agent that I believe didn't need her resources is Velina, and the strongest argument for that is that I still see people on social media asking what these indicators do. Velina's bar collects Windbloom that she earns by using X specials, and spends on another X special to summon a Cyclone. When Velina triggers Wind attribute Anomaly Vortex, she gains 1 point of Wind Bite, and when she has 2, they are spent on higher damage for the next Vortex. To simplify, spending 90 energy on 2 X specials gives Velina an access to a third one that summons a Cyclone, and every third Vortex is going to feel extra painful for the enemy. Neither actions allow for any change in the game plan. You would want to use a full string of Velina's X specials every time to summon or refresh the Cyclone, and the extra damage to the third Vortex is going to happen regardless of your input, so the bar provides no utility to you as a player. Velina could have relied on notches on the energy bar to indicate that her 2 X specials are ready, and as for the harder hitting Vortex, since the player gets no control over spending the resource, then there is no need to announce a harder hit. Just do it. The last agent whose supply I would like to critique is Ithari. Her special resource is so special that it doesn't even get a name. It is used to showcase the level of charge for her whole basic, and while the bar is continuous, the charge is actually discrete. You spend it for level 1, 2, or 3 charged basic. With a bar like that, it is impossible to tell the current level of charge. But you don't really need to. While charging, Ithari blocks enemy attacks, and in turn, they make her charge faster, so most of the time, you'll be able to reach a full charge before a decision on which level is more appropriate has to be made. And in the rare case where you would want to use a partially charged basic, Ithari's weapon animation can already be used for the same purpose, making this bar completely redundant. Removing it wouldn't change anything about Ithari's game plan, but keep a cleaner looking game interface. And that's my current small issue with the state of the game. Recently, I've noticed that teasers for new agents still excite me, and animations full of flavor are playing a huge role in that. But when it comes to using them in the battle, I dread having to focus my attention on the tiny section of the left corner. Have you also started to find kit designs and game plans a bit repetitive? Which agents, in your opinion, utilize their resources the best, and which ones could go without them? I couldn't cover every single case in this video, so please feel free to leave your opinion down in the comments. Subscribe to not miss the future content, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!